Rwanda. In 100 days, over 1 million innocent men, women and children were violently hacked to death with machetes in a planned act of genocide, as Rwandan government leaders set out to exterminate the entire population of their rival tribe, the Tutsis. When the 100 days of genocide finally came to an end, only 3 Assembly of God churches remained. Church members came out of hiding and returned to their churches, not to sing or preach, but to weep and pray. Now, 21 years later, God's Spirit has swept across the land of Rwanda, bringing life where there was once death. Over 170 churches are scattered across the country. Most of these churches have been built from sticks and mud with tin roofs. None of these buildings are permanent and quickly erode during the rainy season. Sometimes walls or entire buildings collapse from the erosion or the wood being eaten by termites. The government has begun condemning these buildings as unsafe. There will be no lawsuits if someone is injured. Instead, the pastor will be arrested and jailed. I'd been pastoring my mud brick church for 2 years. God had given us many souls and the church was growing. But the government condemned our mud brick building. When I met with the leaders of my church, the police arrived and arrested us. Then many of the people in my church stopped worshipping with us. Vedaste pastors the church in Bukumbi. I was a leader in the Bukumbi church in 1994 when the genocide began. Over half of the members of our church were killed. I survived by hiding in the swamp. When the Rwandan Patriotic Front Army liberated Rwanda, I came out of hiding to find that 9 of the members of my family had been murdered. My family is buried in this mass grave with 27,000 others from my village. Now I pastor the church and preach to our village reconciliation and forgiveness. 21 years ago, these pastors stood alone and forgotten as everything around them collapsed in the horror of genocide. Now, these brave men and women find themselves in a different crisis as the congregations they have sacrificed to build face the collapse of the very churches they worship in. Will they yet stand alone, or will you stand with them?
The Rwandan government has decreed that all mud buildings must be replaced with brick buildings, or they will be destroyed and the church will forfeit their properties. We are in desperate times and the clock is ticking. Each new brick church will cost $10,000 to build. $3,000 of the budget will provide a metal roof for this building. $1,000 of the budget will cover the cost of a much-needed concrete floor. Many Rwandan churches, by faith, have begun to dig and lay their foundations for their new church. What will you do to help meet this desperate need?
We will build these new brick churches upon the stone foundations that we and our congregations have laid. The Rwandan genocide butchered men, women, and children. These cold-blooded murderers were intent upon destroying the Tutsi tribe and its legacy. Together, we can help lay a foundation for the next generation of Rwanda.